friends, welcome and welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking into how do they want things to be between the two of you, and I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is the Unveiled Tarot, and pile number two is the Borderless Smith-Waite Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today. But I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. Please be careful of scammers. I've never reached out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading. So just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended. We will look at what they wish you knew, what have they realized, and what is their next action towards you and this connection. Details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose the Unveiled Tarot, this is going to be your reading, right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energy. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty, pile one, how do they want things to be between the two of you? Let's take a look. How do they want things to be between the two of you? I also do want to say, just because someone wants things to be a certain way between the two of you, doesn't mean you have to force yourself to align with that, alright? So let's get into that. Ace of Swords, Death, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, 10 of Wands, okay, and 8 of Cups. All right, this is definitely a connection where there have been difficulties. This could also be a no contact and separation. If things are okay and good between the two of you, I don't think that this is your pile, just that there is definitely some kind of problems, some kind of issues that are coming up to the surface at this point in time. Yes, milk thistle, we have forgiveness. Yeah, I feel trapped, yes. Trust issues, yes, okay. How do they want things to be between the two of you? Your person understands that they struggle a lot with trusting you, trusting this connection. I also think that there is a lot of past pain that your person needs to work through. Your person may not understand at this point in time why they struggle to trust you, trust the connection, even though you per se may not have done anything. Like, I feel frustration within me, and I also, you know, with I feel trapped coming up, I can sense that your person, they don't understand why you haven't done anything, but they aren't able to trust you. They aren't able to fully give themselves to this connection. And they do understand that if they were to let go of what's holding them back, then this could be the most beautiful connection ever. So your person does realize that they have been the ones holding back this connection from moving forward, from being something that both of you can actually feel good in, is also another message that's coming through. I think that your person may have been through a lot of very negative experiences with respect to maybe people backstabbing them, or maybe your person trusted someone and then they decided not to show up the way that your person thought they would. So there's a lot of those wounds that do come up to the surface. And even if you haven't done anything, pile one, subconsciously all of these fears kind of come to the surface, and they are projecting those fears onto you. And this is something, like, they are aware that they are projecting those fears onto you, but at this point in time your person doesn't know how to let go, how to be a version of themselves that can fully trust you, or trust until they're given a reason not to, is also what I'm hearing. it does involve like a complete transformation on their end, as much as they want to be that version of themselves. At this point in time, your person has no clarity on how to get there. How do I even become a version of myself that completely allows myself to be free in this connection, to completely trust my person? I know that version of me exists, but how do I get to that point? On your person's end, I think that there is a lot of looking back at past narratives, a lot of healing work that needs to happen on their end before they can fully open themselves up for this connection. But it's weighing on them, Pal One. It is weighing on them because how they want things to be is just things to flow between the two of you, them to completely trust you, them to work on this connection with you. But I think that every time these trust issues keep coming up within your connection, there's always some of the other block. Maybe both of you just end up going into no contact. It ends up, being like a series of fights. Both of you don't know how to move past it. And every time there's an opportunity to maybe progress your connection, these trust issues seem to be pulling both of you back. Like I'm hearing, walk one step forward, but then you're pulled back 2 steps because of your person's trust issues coming up to the surface. There is a desire though to change, but right now it's like, what do I do? How do I even get there? Because I think that sometimes the way that your person reacts in certain situations, it's very, very impulsive, very reactive. It's not, they don't even have those few seconds to give themselves to think or reconsider or calm themselves down. Maybe that is a way that your person can actually start to reframe how they're showing up in this connection. But this is something that they need to figure out on their own, Pal One. I think that even if you tell them, trust me, or, you are safe with me, I don't think that your person will truly be able to access that energy until they resolve past wounds within them. And that takes time, first off. Second, I think that it's also about realizing that those people are not you, or this connection is different from the past connections that your person has been in. So a lot of those narratives your person has to kind of revisit, kind of think through what actually happened, takeaways from those situations, from the version that they are today. Until that happens, I think that this will still continue to be a wish, but to actually ground this wish into 3D, it's a lot of inner work that needs to happen on your person's end, Pal One. I'm also hearing, like, because we have Milk Thistle coming up, forgiveness, I think that there is a lot of resentment your person holds to the people who maybe backstabbed them, or maybe in the past bullied them, took control over the situation, took control over them, the connection. There's a lot of, forgiveness does not mean they have to make space for them in their life. No, absolutely not. Sometimes forgiveness is like just saying goodbye and closing the door on them, but releasing the hold that that person and that situation has had on you, right? So I think that is also something that your person may have to do at some point, or they need to start looking into that if they want things to go the way that they want to, and that is them showing up with someone who can completely feel safe to trust. I don't think that you have done anything. Like, even the energy coming through, they don't blame you for what they feel. And as much as you have tried to create a safe environment, they completely understand that this is their burden to carry. This is on them to work through. Might be confused at this point in time, but I think that the feeling of wanting to show up in a certain way will start growing within your person, and that will bring about this transformation, or that will slowly kind of help them push to let go all of these narratives that are no longer working for them. But that by itself is a little bit slow unless your person's working on it intentionally, which I don't see that energy just yet, but it will happen over time, all right? Because I think the desire to be a certain way in this connection and to not continue hurting you, because every time these trust issues do come up, it's hurting you as well, and especially when you're not at fault as well. So just those feelings will kind of push your person to start letting go of past narratives that are no longer serving them. But that is a bit of a slow process. Pile 1, that is a bit of a slow process. But once you do that, you know, once you let go of those, the hold that past connections have had on you, it's very, very liberating. That I can say out of personal experience. So I think that that is the version that your person wants to tap into. That's the energy that your person wants to tap into. But yes, even from my experience, I can tell you, if you're not being intentional about it, which I wasn't for quite some time, it is a slow process, but it happens. It definitely does happen because there's a certain version of you that you feel you want to move towards. And so you start subconsciously working towards that version of you. And then when you start being more intentional about it, yeah, then the work becomes a lot faster, or it becomes a lot quicker. You are able to be more intentional. You tend to respond rather than react. So I am feeling that energy with your person. But at this point in time, they're not intentional about it just yet, so it's going to be a bit slow. I think that, so the energy coming through, and I feel it within me, all right? My experience is coming up to the surface, so I completely understand what your person is going through. I think that there is a lot of battle within them to forgive the people who have hurt them in the past. Your person is like holding on to the anger and the frustration, and even, you know, the negative feelings. Yes, your person is resisting letting that go because, and I understand this thought process, Pal One, because I've been there as well, and I feel like sharing this with you. When I had to learn how to let go of, you know, extreme situations that I've been in where the people, I mean, it bordered on abuse in certain cases as well. And when I, you know, started going through my healing process, and I was like, okay, fine, I need to let that go because it's really weighing on me very heavy. There was this big resistance within me, and I feel that Five of Wands energy. There was this big resistance with me because I was scared that if I let go, if I forgive, all right, would it minimize the damage that they had done to me? Would it minimize the pain, the hurt, the anger, everything, the impact that their actions had had on me? And so for a very long time, I'd actually held on to not releasing, not letting go. And there was like this deep inner conflict that arose within me. And I feel that energy. The moment this card came up, I'm like, I completely understand what your person is going through. It's hard. It's hard because there's that a lot of anger that you have to work through, especially when you are learning how to release past narratives of situations, and that fear of what if I am like the age that I was when this happened, what that person, that version of me, what if I'm not doing justice to what that version of me went through. But over time, I was able to understand that I am doing justice because I am honoring what that past version of myself went through. It's just that I no longer choose to let that incident or experiences or even that person have a hold on me. I let that go. I hold them, yes, to what they did, absolutely. And maybe I understand that, yes, it came from their own wounds or whatever it is, but I do not hold the door open for them anymore. I shut the door, and that by itself allows me to release the weight that those experiences have had on me. And that is not doing injustice to that past version of me. But there was a lot of resistance. I fought with myself a lot about this, and I feel that energy coming through as well. So there is a lot of internal conflict that your person does have to work through. One, but I do see that they will, just because they know that this is holding them back. And as time goes, the more this conflict builds, the more heavier the burden becomes, right? So on your end, I would say understanding, empathy for what your person is going through, but at the same time also sticking up with your boundaries. That is very, very important. Just because you understand what someone is going through does not mean you have to allow yourself to be hurt by them, or you have to not react or not stand up for yourself, all right? That is very, very important. As much as I empathize with your person, and I have been in your person's situation, I will tell you this, Pal One, maybe you can sit with your person and work through things with them, all right? Make sure that when you do call them out, of course, I understand, I completely know that you will probably be doing it with empathy, with compassion, but don't stop yourself from calling them out. Don't pass it off as, oh, okay, that's coming from a place of wounding. No. As much as the pain that I've been through has affected the relationships that I was in the past, doesn't have to be romantic, was actually mostly platonic and familial. The people in my life who really loved me very, very compassionately, very empathetically, they actually called me out on these behavioral patterns, and they sat and worked with me through them. You know, every time my reaction would slip, they would completely understand, but at the same time, they'd be like, if this situation comes again, comes another time, how would you want to respond? And they would slowly sit with me and talk about it. Every time I have hurt them with my behavior, they have called me out on it. They have gently let me know that that was not working. Maybe there was a different way for both of us to handle the situation. And one thing that I absolutely admire about, the people in my life who I've had very healthy relationships in, and I had to learn how to be the healthy person in those relationships, all right? And they were my guiding light. One thing that they did was they always made it seem like they and I were a team. We are working together on this. And it was not just, you are doing this, you are wrong, you should correct yourself. No, it was always, how do we work on this? How do we make sure that this doesn't trigger you? Or how can I maybe say things in a different way so that we can handle this situation better? You know, it was always we, as in them and I as a team. And that is something that I have taken a lot of inspiration from. That is also something that helped me to heal, and it gave me the space to heal while I, was able to step up in those connections. All right, so that might be a message coming through for you. I don't know why I felt so called to share so much. So maybe there is someone out there, maybe you're not sure what to do, and maybe you are hesitant of calling your person out. No, I'm on the other side of it. Let me tell you, calling my friends and my family, calling me out on certain behavioral patterns that were working against me and against the connection, yes, I am deeply grateful for the way that they called me out on it as well. It was very, very gentle, very loving, very compassionate. And it was also about, how do we work on this together? We will work on this together. And that by itself, it made me feel so loved, made me feel so cherished, and made me feel like, yes, it's worth me going through the painful transformation to get to the end point. So in that way, knock on wood, I was very, very lucky. And I think that you might be that person for your person, all right? So this is what I wanted to share. A very deep conversation here, Pal One. But yes, I've been where your person has been, and it is possible to come out of this energy. It is, all right? But it takes a bit of time, and when you start becoming intentional about it, it speeds up a little bit more, all right? Pal One, this is where I will leave you for today. There is going to be an extended, so let's take a look at what will we cover in the extended. Okay, what they wish you knew, what have they realized, and what is their next action? These are details that we are going to be looking into in the extended. Details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. Pal One, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi Pal 2, for those of you who chose the Borderless Smith-Waite Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energy. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alright, Pal 2. How do they want things to be between the two of you? Just want to say before we get into the reading, don't know what's going to come out, but just because someone wants things to be a certain way between the two of you doesn't mean you have to force yourself to align with that. All right. feel like shuffling one more time. Okay. We have Two of Pentacles, the Empress, Four of Cups, Five of Swords, Page of Cups, the Devil. I gotta cover this, hold on. And we have the Ace of Cups, okay. I also have your Oracle cards. We have Black-Eyed Susan with Recognition. I feel like reading this, pal, too. Sometimes it is easier to bury hurt feelings and difficult emotions. Black-Eyed Susan gently helps you to wake up and recognize all aspects of yourself, even those you deem ugly or unworthy. Even your deepest, darkest truths need to be shown the light of love and honored as part of your human experience. We have Old Wounds and we have I Am Tired of Fighting. Alrighty, so definitely some kind of difficult energy coming through in your reading today, Pal 2. There was difficult energy in Pal 1 as well, but the difference between Pal 1 and Pal 2 is that in your pile, I'm seeing old wounds on both ends. Both of you have been triggering each other. Both of you have been playing off of each other's energy, and it has been quite a bit of difficult time for the two of you. In Pal 1, it was one person's energy that was constantly being triggered, right? So that's the difference. But if you feel called to check out Pal 1, I would say you can. Just that there was a lot of difficult energy. There was a lot of fighting even in Pal 1. Just the semantics are a little bit different. So if you don't feel called to it, it's okay. There's plenty of messages coming through in your reading. Alrighty, so there's definitely some kind of power dynamic playing out between the two of you, alright? I can see that you are triggering your person's triggering you. Both of you have been fighting a lot. For some of you, this could be no contact, or both of you are just taking some time out between the two of you. How do they want things to be? Honestly, they want both of you to stop fighting. They want some kind of a refreshed, renewed energy between the two of you. They want some kind of an emotional renewal between the two of you. I think that both of you, either the fights have been just going on for quite some time, or the fights have been like one after the other, like snowballing into many, many fights. And either for some of you, I'm getting that the root problem could be one thing, and then you might be having multiple fights about it. For others of you, I am getting that maybe it's just been one thing after another, like different aspects of the connection that both of you have just not been able to kind of get on the same page. So whatever it is, I think that you and your person, I am feeling that that energy could be yours as well. Both of you are just tired of being in this pain, this constant fighting energy. And I think that both of you maybe are trying to let the other person know that, okay, I'm fine, or yeah, okay, I'm not bothered by it. Maybe that's a little bit of energy that's playing out with Black-Eyed Susan. And again, you know, even with the Five of Swords, one person's not really sharing what they're going through, so the other person's not sharing what they're going through because the other person's not, and they feel insecure, or they feel unsafe to share their emotions. So both of you are not being honest with each other, to be frank, and the energy coming out. But both of you are quite affected by this. Both of you are quite upset by what is going on between the two of you. It's difficult. Like even me, I'm like taking deep breaths because the amount of fighting, I think both of you are not able to understand why you're not able to get out of this energy, and you keep triggering your person keeps triggering you. Both of you are not able to find a solution. I think that both of you have tried a lot of things, but it's just not worked out. There is love, there are feelings between the two of you. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be a platonic or a familial one. But there's definitely some kind of work relationship also. But there's definitely some kind of power dynamic playing out. So there could be age difference between the two of you, or social hierarchy. There's something about a power dynamic playing out. Maybe you're earning more than your person's earning more than you, so on and so forth. There's something that's playing out where one person feels entitled to be at a higher position in the connection, and that's kind of playing off of both of you as well. Let's get more messages, because as much as they want things to be better between the two of you, I don't see any action. I don't see, like, you can wish for it all you want, but where's the action? You have to take steps towards that. I'm not seeing that. Yes, it's all very internal at this point in time. Like, yes, there are feelings. Yes, there's this confusion. And why do we keep fighting when there are feelings? When we love each other, when we care for each other, why do we keep fighting? Why do we keep triggering each other? There are all of these thoughts that are coming through. I do feel like your person might be a little bit emotionally unavailable. I would not be surprised if you are as well, given the amount of fights. Both of you might be feeling a little bit raw, a bit defensive, like any tiny thing that you say, it will set off your person, or they will feel like, oh, okay, I have to put my shield up. Same goes for you as well. I'm feeling this to be very, very mutual energy. It's kind of like, Paltu, the way that message is coming to me, your person feels like you're attacking them. You might make one small comment. They feel like you're attacking them, and then they put up their shield up. And then because they put up their shield up and you didn't really intend it to be an attack, you end up putting your shield up as well. And then both of you are just working off of each other's energy, and you're not really seeing beyond that. And that might be playing out in different aspects of your connection, or it might be the same thing over and over again, and it's snowballing into something that's very difficult for the two of you to go through at this point in time. Your person wants to approach this like there is a bit of conflict, all right? Internally, I think that they are feeling, okay, I need to be kind and compassionate and feel my way through this connection. On the other hand, I think that their logical mind kind of steps in and says, no, we have to deal with it in a more logical way, or we have to look at the pros and cons of the situation. We have to figure out what is going on. So there's a little bit of that head versus heart clash that's going on. And I think that that might lead to a standstill between the two of you because your person doesn't know what to do. I also think that you, at this point, don't know how to resolve the situation between the two of you. But yes, the energy is coming through that they are feeling bad about the situation. They are putting up a front, yes. But someone just in my head just like pointed because they are putting up a front. So like I said, both if you're playing off of each other's energy, they're doing it, so I'm going to do it. And then you're doing it because they're doing it. And then they're doing it because they thought you did it. It's a little bit messy. Yes, I see that energy playing out at this point in time. But they too want some kind of emotional resolution between the two of you. They too want there to be peace. They too want both of you to stop fighting. You might be like, they keep triggering me all the time. Maybe they just want us to keep fighting all the time. No, that message is not coming through. Honestly, they do want both of you to be happy together, to be, just at least flow together. If not fighting, but just flow together. That, yes, they do have that desire within them. Let's see, maybe advice or message for you. Yeah, both of you, it's kind of like one person will have to kind of put aside their ego, right? It could be you, it could be your person, but I am seeing one person has to at this point. Just that both of you are not, like both of you are being defensive because the other person is. So one person will have to put down their shield, put down their sword, and then say, okay, well, I have nothing on me, and I want to resolve the things between the two of us. Let's start somewhere. So the starting point will be one of you, I don't know who, but one of you will have to let down your defenses, or defensiveness is what I was called to correct. One of you will have to trust that the other person, I'm hearing, will not wield their sword, and just trust and put down their defensiveness, and then that is how this can actually get to that point. But yes, it's going to take one of you. Both of you don't want to. I can see that energy playing out, Paul, too. I see that both of you don't want to, but yeah, I understand that. I do, like sometimes it's just too much happening. Oh, the doorbell. You can take that as a confirmation. But yes, I can understand why there's just been this standstill energy between the two of you. Both of you don't want to lower down your sword or your shield, and both of you are skeptical that the other person will actually be on the same page or will work through this situation. I think both of you are actually getting scared of hurt, the pain, the hurt, or that there will be more pain and hurt. So until one of you firmly decides to lower down all of your weapons and just stand still, I do not see resolution in this, just that both of you are really working off of each other's energy, and both of your energies are quite powerful. Like, you affect your person a lot. Your person also affects you a lot. So given the amount of emotional intensity between the two of you as well, until one of you not surrender, but decides to trust and operate from a place of trust, only and only then will there be some kind of resolution, or at least a starting point to emotional renewal between the two of you. That is what I'm seeing, right? Well, two, let me take a look at what we are covering in the extended. Okay, so we'll look at what they wish you knew. We'll look at what have they realized and what is their next action, right? We'll take a look at this. I might have to tap a little bit into future energy with what have they realized. I'll do that. I'll pick up some oracle cards as well. But overall, resolution will not happen until one of you puts your defenses down, or one of you is less defensive than the other, because otherwise it's just going to be fight, fight, fight. You fight, they think you want to attack, then they will put up their defenses, then you think that they put up their defenses, so okay, that person's going to hurt me, and then both of you just keep going. There will be a never-ending loop. But how to break that loop is when one of you decides to I want to say, recognize that yes, it is difficult, but I am going to be putting all my weapons down, and I trust that you will not hurt me. When you step into that energy, it looks like your person will respond to that energy, all right? But it could be your person also doing that. We'll see in the extended, all right? But one of you will have to. That's for certain. I don't know who, but one of you will have to, all right? Pile 2. This is where I will leave you for today. Really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. Pile 2, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.